Hello and welcome back to part 2 of the Playing with Power podcast, issue 63 for what was
August of '94.
August of 1994.
We're well on track. All right, this is
As
John.
usual.
John with Mike.
Yep, and Ben will be back at some point.
Yeah,
Which
his
will
kids
make
went a little haywire.
Which will
There's
make
not much.
editing really great for me.
But on the positive note, we still have Ivan with us. Hey, Ivan.
Hello.
He's a trooper. It's late on his end and Mike's end, but Mike's gainfully employed, or Ivan's gainfully employed, so it's a little harder on him. So anyway,
That's all right. I actually get to sleep in tomorrow.
Oh God, I've been staying up late playing Breath of the Wild every night, and it's starting to take its toll on me. Yeah, it's bad news bears. Playing Breath of the Wild till one or 2 in the morning every night isn't the best plan. So, all right, we have what is it? Stunt Race FX on the cover this month, and we're into the classified.
Yep.
Right.
Classified information.
Classified information, yeah.
We get to find out how to get extra lives, or extra continues in Arrow the Acrobat, or just how to skip levels if there's one part that just doesn't work for you. And then we get the Pink Panther, the invincibility cup for that, or the super slow motion, which
does that put you in super slow motion, or does that put the enemies in super?
It looks like it's everything. The game, it says, you'll notice that the game has been set at a super slow motion. It's impossible to play like this, but it's cool to watch.
That's weird. All right, we have an Wolfenstein 3D invincibility code, and there's a way to skip some levels, like level exit. I don't understand. Have you been through the first few levels of this game way too many times? This code is for you. Before you start playing, when the title screen appears, release the button and begin playing a new game. Anytime you want to skip the next level, press. Okay, you can jump level is what it's saying. All right. There's a extra Daffy Duck code?
Ducks galore, where you can get 50 ducks in reserve.
Then there's some cheat codes for the EA Sports MLB PA baseball, which is a Scrabble and mouthful winner. And then
steroid option.
Yeah, right. The Barry Bonds mode, just like chew into some HGH, your head goes up 3 sizes. All right. His helmet stopped fitting. Like Jesus Christ. Anyway.
Yeah, that might have been a clue.
Yeah, Zombies Ate My Neighbor's Day of the Tentacle. Well, that's a fun mode. So what is this? Like, enter blah 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 on the password screen, and you'll begin the game at the bonus round. Collect all the power-ups and continue playing the game as normal. Shoot the hedge at the top of stage 1 with the bazooka, and enter the bonus round again. So it's a way to like run your score up, I guess. I don't know.
Yep, so then we got Counselor's Corner with Harold Mullins, who looks like Weird Al.
Yeah.
If he just aged badly.
Yeah, that guy doesn't, like, him and, there's a couple celebrities that just, like, never change, ever. Mr. Bean doesn't get old, like, ever.
Yeah. He's just born that way.
And we talk about Paladin's Quest, which is a very interesting Super Nintendo game where the magic comes from your health points. Which is a very neat concept for a game.
So if you use magic, you hurt yourself?
Yeah. You know, that magic comes from your life force.
That's
which is neat.
Clever.
It is. And it looks kind of neat. I remember playing that game. Good fond memories. And then we got Matt Dillingham, which looks like a more depressed version of Hurley from Lost. And he tells us in Jurassic Park how to keep raptors out of the visitor center. And where to find the last egg.
Matt looks like he has, like, they had to stop him from eating Cheetos, like, to take the picture. Is my guess.
Fine, just take the fucking picture. Give me back my Cheetos, damn it.
My foot's going numb. Now take the picture.
And then we got Greg Evans, who must have been hard, like, within a week of taking this picture, because he does not have that defeated look on his face yet.
I just got to second base, guys.
I touched a boob.
Yeah, so he's giving us some Tetris 2
And I liked it.
And then Randy Shoemake, not Shoemaker, Shoemake, and they took the photo with a Game Boy camera, apparently.
Or a modern movie lens where everything is dark green.
Yeah, they put the Aquaman filter on for this photo. I don't know what's going on with this photo, but yeah, maybe the printing was off. But he's giving you Donkey Kong tips for Game Boy Color, NES. I don't know what the hell this game is, but
yeah, it's Donkey Kong.
Anyway,
it's just really hard to read because they chose dark purple letters on a black background, which is great for getting the. Which is a great choice for the Game Boy games. We're going to give them a purple font while we still have that black background.
Alright, and so we have a curveball. They've thrown the now playing, like, ahead in the issue.
And since we're not pressed for time, we can review all of them. Lord of the Rings.
I hate you so much.
It feels truly Tolkien-esque in the graphics and story. The multiplayer option makes for a great alternative way to play the game. An excellent musical score and sound quality. Tolkien fans should celebrate. Well, they shouldn't, since, you know, we all heard what John said. And it says, awkward play control when fighting. Control with the Super NES mouse is very poor. Extreme patience is necessary when exploring interior areas, and mapping skills are useful. In other words, it's a fun game to play, just not a very fun game to play.
Franchises for this content are real hit and miss. Like, it's one of those things, like, yeah, everybody loves the Peter Jackson movies, but there's a lot of, like, poor Lord of the Rings stuff that's out there.
Yeah, what about that new Lord of the Rings game, like Shadow of Mordor?
Yeah, well, that's decent from what I understand, but I don't know.
Then we get Stunt Race FX. It's easy to get the hang of the controls, fast and fun, excellent graphics and depth of play, 2-player simultaneous mode, battery backed up memory, good sound. Negative. After crashes, you may find yourself disoriented as the viewpoint of your vehicle may not be what you expected. The stunts aren't quite the loop-de-loop daredevil stuff you might expect. And then R-Type in the middle
you gonna
of
let
our
anyone
game.
read anything?
Oh shit, I forgot about you. Okay. John, you want to tell us about R-Type?
Well, let's give Ivan a chance to talk about some games. So what's going on with R-Type, Ivan?
So R-Type, you got great play control, excellent graphics, lots of challenge, no slowdown, has an endless continue. Only downside is there's not enough of it. Just 6 stages of alien kicking ass fun.
That's a good negative. It's like, there's just not enough of it.
Endless continues is kind of interesting with games. You know, like, what do you feel about that? Like,
I like it because I hate the idea of having to, like, redo the entire friggin' game over just because there's one stage giving me trouble. The idea that I could keep hammering at it and not be punished for it too severely.
It does take away some of the accomplishment, though. I can see the other side of it.
Well, if you want to start all over again, turn it off and back on again.
Breath of the Wild doesn't count, Devin. And I'm really glad it doesn't, because, oh my god, you die so much in that game.
It's like Dark Souls for Zelda.
Oh, it's bad. It's hard. It's, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I really enjoy it, don't get me wrong, it's really fun, but you die a shit ton.
And it doesn't punish you for dying, though, right?
The enemies, yeah, there's a lot of save points. Like, you can even, like, do manual saves, so...
See?
But yeah...
That's why continues are good.
Yeah, I guess there's... I mean...
Yeah.
If you want challenge, turn it off manually and then turn it back on.
There's, like,
natural challenge difficulty.
There's natural challenge built in that, like, you only have a certain amount of resources. Like, the game... I was reading or watching a video on, like, a kind of mini review of, like... Because there's so... Like, stuff is so spaced out in the game. Like, when you run into an NPC, like, you want to talk to them because you haven't seen anyone for, like, 20 minutes in the game to, like, talk to. So, like, because everything's so spaced out, like... I don't know. It's...
So are half the players.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's bizarre. Like, so you can climb to the top of a mountain and, like, look as far as the draw distance will go, and, like, you'll see, like, other mountains in the distance. If you walk to those, you'll see, like, other places in the game to go. Like, I don't know how long it would take to get across this map, but it's probably a good hour worth of, you know, just flat out, like, going as fast as you can, even to get across the map, let alone, like, do everything. So,
John, do you have this on Wii U or on the Switch?
on the Switch.
Okay.
So,
I haven't gotten the Switch yet. I was wondering about the Wii U version.
yeah, I can't comment on the Wii U. From what I understand, they're pretty much the same though. So,
It's a good final game to get for the Wii U.
or a reason to buy yourself a Switch, especially if your friend's paying for it. All right.
It's a good final game for the Wii U or a good first game for the Switch.
Yeah, I'll see if I can run that by my wife.
Yeah,
So-
and finding
I
one.
think I know how that one will go.
Did I make it back in time
So-
for Shaq Fu?
There we go.
Yay, Ben!
Oh, we wouldn't do it without you, big guy.
All right.
Tell us about An American Tale, 5-0 Goes West.
He has no idea where we are. I'll talk and he can catch up.
Great graphics, fun story and action.
There!
However,
Prove me right. Ben's got my back.
the 5 stages won't provide enough challenge or depth for all players. Hit detection on some objects is poor, making some jumps difficult as 5-0 falls through objects.
And a good
All
point
right.
about this is this for the game type, it says cartoon action for one mouse or person.
That's funny. All right, we have a Speed Racer game that wasn't covered in the issue from Accolade. And let's see, they're saying it's a good idea and a fun license, and there's some good cinema scenes. However, seemingly endless driving stages without much challenge. Play control in the action stages can be poor. Character graphics and animation in this action stage is also poor. Speed Racer fans will find that this game does not truly capture the fun or action of the TV show. So that's pretty much a pass.
But it's a
on
good
there.
idea.
Really? You don't
Fun
get to yell at
license.
Chin?
And then let's see what else they have to say about
King of the Monsters.
Monsters 2. All right, Mike, let's take us off.
Okay. The monster theme is fun and a nice challenge from traditional fighting games. However, not much complexity in the fighting strategies or moves. Ben, please tell us about your hero, Sonic Assman.
Sonic Blast Man may not have the rich comic book history of other superheroic types, but he has the moves, the courage, and most importantly, the endless parade of enemies who want to silence his sonic blasts.
Oh Jesus!
Oh my God, this would make a compelling gay porn series.
It says this
Get on
new
that.
version has a 2-player option in which a second hero of justice can join in on the fun. Sonya the Blast Lady. The Blast Lady. Okay, and so it says
Captain Chode.
good graphics and play control, 2-player option. However, although the game is fun, don't expect anything new in this sequel. Some stages almost seem to be repeats of the original game. Only 5 stages.
Oh, that's rough. Ivan, what's going on with Operation Thunderbolt?
So, Operation Thunderbolt. It's time to revisit the tumultuous Middle East where war hangs forever in the air like a stench of rottenness.
Well, it sounds like the Trump presidency.
So, believable mission briefings, I'm sure. Easy to master, good cooperative game in 2-player mode. Super Scope and Super NES mouse compatible. Negatives, the play control with a regular controller is difficult. They recommend using the Super NES mouse for better results. Brutal theme and semi-realistic violence may offend some players. Not terribly challenging. This sounds like a winner.
10 megabits.
It's going to be tough.
That's
It's going to piss you off. And it's
That's odd. 10 megabits. Anyway.
Yeah, and we got like a Stan Lee cameo in the middle of the second insert.
Yeah. Looks like Stevie Wonder if you left him out in the sun for too long.
oh god.
Yeah. I take back Stan Lee. Stan Lee still has his hair.
You know why Stevie Wonder can't see his friends?
Oh my God, I dread the answer.
Because he's married.
Yeah.
Anyway,
was
all
that?
right. So, because he's married.
Oh.
All right. Fighters History from Data East. It's another fighting game. Blah. They say there's good play control and graphics, though. Little originality. Data East may have won in the courts, but players won't find many new features to recommend. Fighter History over Street Fighter 2. Annoying soundtrack and poor voice. So what is it? Data Entry East.
You read the first line.
Well,
it made
I wanna...
history of its own in the courtroom when a judge found that it did not infringe on Capcom's copyrights for Street Fighter
I was
2.
getting there, you piece of shit. All right. Okay. Anyway.
Well, you should have started with that.
Annoying soundtrack
started
and
with
poor voice.
this.
Who does that remind me of?
This podcast. All right.
Really, I'm surprised the judge ruled in favor because you look at a screenshot of this. We see two of them, and yeah, it basically looks like rip-off Street Fighter.
Yeah, because if there's anybody that knows video games, it's 60-year-old white men. All right. All right, Mike, tell us about Mission Impossible 2025, or Impossible Mission, whatever.
Well, apparently...
Copyright infringement.
The first one looks like a point-and-click adventure game in Tron, while the second one features like the Silver Surfer, who lost his board and is apparently just powered with jogging.
Anyway.
And it says, good graphics and variety of play. I doubt that. However, the bottom says, very unforgiving. Much of the challenge is that the game allows only one hit.
Oh,
so it
God.
looks shitty, and it is shitty.
All right, Ben. What's going on with Death and Return of Superman?
It says excellent graphics, play control, and a fun storyline. Each of the Supermen has unique throws and super attacks. However, not as much variety or challenge as you might expect. Superman's flying attacks and heat ray vision are very limited.
Oh yeah, otherwise every level would be God mode.
All right, and Ivan, what's going on in the edutainment end of things?
Mario's early years, fun with numbers. You got a colorful introduction to math for young children. That's the positive, the only positive. Negative, limited exploration of mathematical concepts. I guess they're looking for a... digitized speech is very stilted and awkward.
Yeah, I guess they were expecting a little bit more beyond addition and subtraction. And this game fell short of that.
Yeah, come on, calculus. I mean, really, people.
And then what else we have?
No, this is why America's
what's
falling
in the
behind, damn it, in math.
Sorry.
What's in the second frame? Is that like bacon?
They're counting something. I don't know. So
And there's a buried elephant. So, John,
Yeah.
tell us about Beauty and the Beast.
it's a 3 megabit game from Hudson Soft.
It's NES.
And they had the audacity
NES.
to charge $45 for it.
Well, it's more than your mom. So, fairly challenging and a good theme. The characters from the movie are integrated better in this version than the Super NES version. However, the graphics look particularly dated, play control doesn't feel solid, and hit detection is off. Wow, that's a selling point if I've ever heard one. So,
Oh,
Hey, guys.
What?
Going back to the Mario thing quickly.
yeah.
Have you ever seen the cover art to that?
I think so.
Mario's early years fun with numbers? No, I'm gonna have to
Yeah, you got to look it up. Mario is standing next to a playground with a bunch of kids. And he's kind of reaching up in a very unfortunate region in this one kid. Kind of looking back like, are you seeing this?
Sounds like my Saturday.
I'm looking here. Let's see here. Oh, he's like helping him
my
up a
God.
slide or something?
Yeah, he's
Oh.
helping him do something.
He's helping something.
So there's a DOS
Right
version
hand.
and then there's a Super Nintendo version. So the Super Nintendo version, he's holding up numbers and he's sitting the end of like a seesaw.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. It's like Mario's touching game.
And then the other one for the PC
Yeah.
is...
yeah, this ain't PC, baby.
Yeah, the PC
Not
one is
PC.
super disturbing. Yeah.
So he's like, you can just see him in the courtroom, you know. Just like they have the trial in the stand. So here's the... Here,
I think it's
with
just
the
my
defendant
jaded,
point to the, you know, with
Yeah,
the
so they
accused
take-
point to the crowd where it touched you, pointing on the
they
doll.
take out the doll and have the kid point where Mario, which pipe Mario went down. You know.
and then Mario's on the witness stand going, you see, Your Honor, I was in that area between permission and rejection.
No.
And this is when we get the cease and desist from Nintendo. All right.
Did you hear that Cosby is going on a tour, by the way, of like
Oh my
how
god. Are you kidding?
to not get basically not how to not get caught?
Wow.
Yeah.
It's like how to not
It has
be
no shame.
targeted
How to
for
get
sexual
how
assault
to get away
trials.
with molestation.
It's like basically how to
I heard-
protect yourself as a celebrity from the sexual assault charges.
The bar.
So he's taking a victory
The
lap.
after party's a lot of fun with that tour, though. So.
if you remember them. How to Get Away with Molestation.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yep.
Anyway.
What do we have? We have 4 Game Boy games coming out this month. We're going to rapid fire them. Mike, let's start you off.
Well, I thought Ben would like to tell us, since he's the one that had a Simpsons Game Boy game.
Oh, I got to talk about all of them now? I want to talk about RoboCop versus The Terminator.
All right, Mike, start us off.
All right, then I'll do it. We get to see Bart sitting on a goose, I think, or a goose that's trapped in a well or something.
I think he's sitting in a chimney.
I thought that was your move.
Some coal down that stocking.
So
Family's getting shit for Christmas.
Itchy and Scratchy and miniature golf madness. So it says, good graphics and unusual fun concept. It's also twisted enough to capture the essence of Itchy and Scratchy. However, play control, particularly the golfing aspect, is a bit limited. Oh, that's great. Limit the main concept of the game. Timing your attacks can also be tricky. Tricky.
What? All right, Ben, what's going on with the next game?
RoboCop versus The Terminator. Let's see here. You are RoboCop, protecting and serving and more often shooting everyone around. The Terminator waits to battle you somewhere beyond the army of thugs sent to rust your patience. And they say, heavy on RoboCop, good graphics. Light on the Terminator, lack of any real strategy involved. Little challenge. Play control is very stiff, and shooting can be difficult and hazardous when enemies are at certain angles.
Yeah, and we get to see a beautiful screenshot of RoboCop versus not a Terminator.
It's a spider.
But a spider. You think since the Terminators were like an army of robots, that you would just be shooting armies of robots? That's all we
Freeze,
want.
punk.
Speaking of cop shootings, do you see that crazy
Drop
video
it,
of
creep.
the guy getting shot? Like, he said he had a gun, and like the cop so the cop pulls him over, and like the guy's like, I have a permit, and like he went to reach for his ID, and like the cop got like spooked and shot him like 3 seconds later. It was absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Like, it's going around online today. It's, oh my god, just like things are nuts right now. So
Maybe they shouldn't have panic-prone lunatics on the force.
I wouldn't go that far. It's a tough job.
Have you seen the...
It is,
it
but
is a
you
tough
should
job,
be.
but-
You shouldn't be reaching for your gun the second you have to contact somebody.
I don't know. They have a real tough job, man. Like, you don't know
Oh,
if
that's
someone's
true.
gonna, you know, you
They
don't know
have
if
to.
someone's gonna
They
go
have to.
haywire.
Yeah, they don't. I mean, they have to live in constant fear of being shot like all the time. Is their problem? Did you see that video where like a cop pulls like a pair of black women over in their car, and they're like totally freaking out, and he like walks up to them and like shoves an ice cream cone in their face. Hey, you were under arrest
What?
for being hot in the summer, and he like shoves an ice cream cone in their face, like oh, like oh, what a joke, you know? They were fearing for their lives based on all this like Black Lives Matter stuff going on,
Oh my
and there he
God.
is surprising him with ice cream.
I can kind of see that, like, you have to do something to defuse the situation, but
Maybe don't like pull someone over for it though. You know what I mean? Ugh, anyways.
yeah, it's kind of like being sent to the principal's office. It's not likely that he's going to say, you've been having great grades, so we'd like to do a story about you in the paper.
Right. All right, let's move on.
Usually, like, we saw what you've
Yeah.
been doing during your extended bathroom visits.
Before we get ourselves in
And
more
you,
trouble.
and you can leave your self-discovery at home.
Ivan, what's going on with the next game?
All right, so we got the bedwetting game Cool Spot.
Nice.
So Spot's day begins at the beach, passes through a dock, toy chest, various bonus stages, and more. Very good graphics, though it's not Super Game Boy version. It looks like it. Bouncy and fun. Some control problems, particularly hit detection. At some shooting angles, you can't hit objects that are right in front of you.
This sounds extremely
Really shouldn't have
frustrating.
made it past the beta testing.
But it's bouncy and fun.
Just like
Yeah,
my
but
mom.
your bullets shouldn't be bouncy and fun.
All right, and then we got Elite Soccer from GameTech. Super Game Boy Soccer for one player. They're like, oh yeah, you better put it in the Super Game Boy. Let's see, there's 24 international teams, good options, password save features for tournament play, and player strengths in 9 categories. Wow, that's a selling point. But it's poor use of the Game Boy technology, no specialty border, and Oh, for the Super Game Boy. Okay. And play and animation seems too slow. So, and I'll round us out. There's another soccer game, World Cup USA '94 from US Gold. Oh, what do they have to say about
indeed,
it?
baby.
Yeah, '94. That was the one that was here. That was with Lexi Lawless and yeah. So let's see what else. What do they have to say about? There's 2 players and a game link option, but the view of the play field is limited to such a small area that effective passing or setting up plays is impossible. There's poor use of icons in the menu system, unrealistic graphics, like the ball is simply a black dot. Oh, unrealistic play, animation, and speed, and as well the players move too slowly, then too fast, while the ball often shoots across the screen like a bullet.
Good
Wow,
job.
sounds like a taste test game.
Oh,
No.
you're gonna have to up your Patreon donation for that.
Yeah, really.
All right. So, what do we have coming down the pipe in like a hot load of fury?
Out through the pipe.
They gave game rankings here. So Stunt Race
yeah.
FX, I think this is the only ones to crack 4.0 for graphics and sound and for challenge. And then the other games that made it close, but no cigar. Let's see here. Death and Return of Superman pretty well. American Tail did pretty good. Let's see here.
Lord of the Rings edged around 3. King
Sonic
of the
Blast Man did
Monsters
pretty good.
also edged around the 3s. Operation Thunderbolt, only barely on the underside of 3. Ranma 1/2, Anything Goes, strong on the gaming, on the graphics and playability, but then weak on the challenge and theme.
And then most of the Game Boy games did poorly.
And the same basically goes for Sonic Ass Man 2. That was also strong on the graphics and play, but low on challenge and theme.
Okay.
And then the Game Boy had a pretty weak selection. Everything was in the 2s. Everything was number 2.
Okay. Did we want to take a break at this point for the first half?
We're back from the break.
No, my bad. Where have I been?
Yes, it is your bad. It's your fault. So, now we move on to your game.
Control your damn kids.
The making of Shaq Fu.
Look at Shaq is looking at us. He's like, yo, man, come at me. It's like it's a shitty Neo.
He's like saying, tell me how my ass tastes.
Everything about this game existing just like makes me happy about the world, though. Like the fact that like whoever made who is the developer? I don't even know.
Delphine software developer based in France. Interesting.
They allowed Shaq to make a kung fu video game instead of a basketball centric video game. Like that's amazing.
Yeah.
Like,
Allow Shaq to act.
I would have liked to
I
see
mean,
a
if they're gonna allow
basketball
him to do that.
RPG.
this
Well,
would
it's-
never happen today.
It's because of him. I don't
It
think
is
they
happening today.
I don't think they
are bringing it
approached him
back.
with it. I think it was his
No.
idea.
Yeah, I know, it's awesome.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah.
I mean, because the cost of game development now, like, remember the whole like huge thing with Kurt Schilling's like RPG
Oh my
that
God,
like
yeah.
shat the bed. It actually wasn't that bad of a game.
Fleeced
Like I will say,
people out of so much money.
well, I don't know. That's not fair. I do think they were trying to make a legitimate game. Like it just, didn't, but yeah. Anyway.
Let's
So let's
talk
see.
about the
What they have a story
storyline.
here. Why not make a basketball game? It's a fact that Shaq likes to play video games. One trip to his home will confirm that. He's got his own collection of arcade games, including Mortal Kombat. And as we're aware, Shaq likes to play basketball. So, what's the scoop? Why are we seeing a fighting game coming from a company that's most famous for its sports games? Well, we went straight to Greg Suarez, an associate producer at Electronic Arts. Suarez said, Shaq was directly responsible for putting Shaq into a fighting game is Don Traeger. Traeger is a VP at EA and also serving as an executive producer. He believes that Shaq is a character who can transcend the normal persona. You will have to admit that the idea of a sports superstar fighting against otherworldly beings is at its very least intriguing.
Oh, the storyline is fantastic. Shaq is playing at a charity basketball tournament in Tokyo. He sneaks away from the crowd to go for a walk. Turning down an alleyway, he comes across a martial arts store. not a dojo, a martial arts store where they sell martial arts. Being the martial arts fan that he is, he decides to go inside for a look around. An old man confronts him, and through some turn of events and twist in conversation, the old man comes to believe that Shaq has arrived to fulfill a legendary prophecy. Oh yes, many people in Tokyo, they talk about prophecy of large black man who will come to land.
Could you be him?
He will be.
No.
He
Has
will
to be the other black man. That can...
He will be 2 men tall. Actually, I'm just like, like a slightly above average man in America. But and we get to see a screenshot from the game where this Asian
Shaq is like 7'3". What the hell?
He's a giant.
Well, exactly. He's 2 Asians tall. So.
Yeah, I think Mike was making a racist joke.
Well, I get that, but yeah.
So then we get to see Shaq, literally 2 men tall, shaking this guy's hand, and the young guy says, and the old man says, "Congratulations, young man, you were the chosen one. I knew it the moment you stepped in." I still would have loved to see like an RPG version where like you go to each new town and you buy like new basketballs, which have like higher attack points, and like armor is your jersey and shorts.
Well, then you'll love next month's issue with Michael Jordan.
Jordan the Magnificent. Oh, and it says here,
It really gets into the
storyline is revealed
games.
as Shaq defeats each of his opponents. Suarez also told Nintendo Power that there may be some secret characters built into the game. We hope so. Secret and hidden stuff goes a long way to keep a game interesting. Look what it did for NBA Jam. So if you can just like, if you could do New Game Plus where you get to play as Bill Clinton,
Mike was stroked out.
that would be great.
All right.
We're moving on.
All right. So, where are we at? He's talking about the motion capture and stuff?
No, he was going to the storyline some
Yeah.
more, but the next piece is the motion capture, and they have a nice
Okay.
insert of photos where they basically had some guys dress up as random bad guys in ridiculous
like a lot of
outfits.
One guy dressed up as
One guy's dressed up
hot
like a
dog or
ring wraith.
something.
No, they were.
It looks like a lot of the guys from that Marco Polo Netflix thing.
Oh, God. I tried to watch that. That was so boring.
Yeah, there's a reason they
So
only made it
boring.
through like 2 seasons.
I'm like...
The first season wasn't bad. It was alright.
I mean, in the first, like, I couldn't stand the first 10 minutes. I'd, like, end up skipping through the episode. I'm like, okay. I was told this was like Game of Thrones. Are there, like, boobs in this? Or people getting killed
I
or
watched
anything?
the first year. The first year was alright. Like, the guy that played Genghis Khan was good. But
I'll take your word for it.
Well, as long as it wasn't John Wayne.
all right, and then let's see. There's also they're talking about how they put the the polishing touches on the game, the finishing touches, and there's an
Is that
interesting.
guy?
Sorry,
Is that guy sitting down to take a shit? I
He's
mean, what is the?
I think he's like I think it's like an attack stance. Look, he's about to charge.
He's about to attack a toilet.
Yeah.
Burrito
then,
night. Sorry, guys.
They have an odd little insert about that Shaq wrote a book called
Shaq
Shaq
Attack.
Attack by Shaq O'Neal with Jack McCullum.
And attack
Who-
is spelled with a Q at the end instead of
Right.
CK.
Wah, wah.
Which isn't even listed on Jack McCullum's Wikipedia. I just went and looked. But he wrote 7 Seconds or Less. It's a really interesting book about the Phoenix Suns when like Steve Nash came out. I remember him as an author. And there's also apparently a Dream Team book from 2012 about the original Michael Jordan Dream Team. So he writes well for a basketball writer. So I actually know that author. I've read a few of his books. But, all right.
Have you seen a recent picture of Shaq's feet? They're like a
God.
complete train wreck. Like I don't know how he like walks straight on them. There's got like bunions and
What was
twisted,
his-
gnarly
he's
like toenails, all that kind of stuff.
His shoe size was like 23 triple E or something like that. I forget.
I thought it was
what exactly
26.
it was. Well,
Shit.
and his wife
guy's
was like
abusive
5'1". Like, you do the math.
How does that work?
He must have split her. I'm just saying.
This doesn't work.
He probably looked like one of those things at the sawmill where they split the log. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, baby, I'm going in.
but yeah. His son committed to U of A for not next season, but the year after. So
Oh.
bear down, motherfuckers.
Bet you're excited about that.
Yeah. All right. Sharif O'Neal is his name.
Huh.
So, all right. Beauty and the Beast for the NES. We talked about it a little bit before.
Guess what? They're orange.
John
Yeah.
loves hearing about that every single time. Just like our listeners.
Yeah. Shocking that there'd be an orange character in an NES title. And then what do we have here? Like, do we even want to talk? We
No,
covered
it's a
Beauty and the Beast on
port.
the SNES.
It's a port
Yeah.
of the Super NES version. I don't know why they keep doing this. Like, we
No,
got
it's
keep
not
trying to
really
breathe-
though. It's
they
not.
keep
It's
trying
not a
to breathe
port. It's a
life.
new. It's a new version of the game. Like they wrote that they fleshed out the characters better in this one. Actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it was just a
Lumiere is
port.
green in this one.
No.
Oh, and you fight a suit of armor, but
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't look like a suit of armor. Guess what color he is?
What's going on with like
He's
Lumiere
great.
and the clock on
No,
page
look
80?
at on guard. You must defeat
yeah.
a spear-toting armored man. You get to
Lumiere.
see a suit of armor.
No.
In the background.
No.
That looks silver.
It's background.
Okay, no. John's onto something here. Let's take a look at page, what is that? 80.
80. What is going on with Lumiere and Cogsworth?
He's giving him a shoulder rub
Yeah.
that will be
He's coming in
considered
hot.
sexual harassment
getting
for
ready
sure
for-
at a workplace environment.
Reach around.
What page is this? Oh,
80.
the next page.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Grab that thing that swings down in front of Cogsworth. Back and forth. Back and forth.
Do you think it speeds up when he's excited?
A spring pops out of him when he's done. It's time!
As they're spit roasting the feather duster.
Ooh, my.
They're,
Okay.
Be my
they're,
guest.
they're putting
Be
some
my
oolong in Mrs. Potts, if you know what I mean.
All right, so next game.
Chip runs the camera. Oh god,
Next game
that's so fucked up. All right, okay.
is
Yeah,
Cool
all right.
Spot for
Which we already talked about.
the Game Boy.
But yeah.
This
I don't
is,
know. Maybe we should hold off if we hit this. If we hit the now playing like again ahead of other games, we should probably hold that off because it kind of.
No, we read it in order. Come with me.
All right, fine.
My description of Bedwetting said it all. Nothing left to say. Let's move on.
Nothing left to say. So I want to know if this is a direct port of the Super NES game. And this one thing that's kind of nice is it's got color in here. They have a unique palette for the Super Game Boy. It's not like
Because it's the only
perfect
one
or
where
anything,
spot's
but
red.
yeah.
And
But it
everything behind him
says
is red.
same as before is what it says. Whether you're a new dude to the Cool Spot collection or an old pro from the Super NES version, you may find it helpful to hunt down some maps because the Game Boy version is almost exactly the same as the Super NES predecessor. Okay, so yeah, let's move
It
on.
says, don't be surprised, though, they're in a different order.
Mm-hmm.
Because fuck you.
Okay. Move on to the next game. We have the Itchy and Scratchy Miniature Golf Madness, which we also talked about. Why? I gotta ask a question. Why is a miniature golf game a side-scrolling platformer?
You
That's
have to walk up,
'Cause
hit the
why
ball, and
not?
move on.
That's right.
you don't
Whack
play
the ball,
golf
Move to the right.
while platforming and jumping on things.
You haven't been to the mini putt
Well,
I
then
have.
you're just not doing it right.
Tell me about the mini putt.
Well, I was at a glow-in-the-dark mini putt, which was fun. But you also got to keep an eye out for all the borders and edges. So you do it is like platforming. You're like standing on the bottom, and then you like jump over a mannequin or something, and then you're standing above stuff. So it is a bit of like it's a low-level platformer. It's like doable for people with my body type. It's like if we were playing a platformer, this is like what we'd be. Like that's our peak field of excellence.
The borderline morbidly obese. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't throw stones there, man.
Mm-hmm. None of us can.
I'm with
None
you,
of us
Mike.
can.
We're all fat bastards. All right. Yeah.
So we get to see Sawed Off. Itchy is a master when it comes to utilizing various implements of Scratchy's destruction. Many times the playful mouse buried the hatchet with his feline counterpart and vice versa. Luckily, the 9 lives rule doesn't apply here. Itchy and Scratchy are only cartoon characters. They don't really die. Well, as opposed to other video games where they did die.
My childhood is ruined.
So we see Axe to Grind. The first Itchies that Scratchy comes across wield axes. So they hesitate, then charge at Scratchy. Your hack timing is critical. Then we get to see a club, then a chainsaw, then a bazooka, then an air attack, dagger danger, and then flamethrower. So this is like Lemmings if they were all psychotic and violent.
Yeah, it's got Lemmings meets mini golf. It's an interesting premise.
It might
really
actually
convey
not
that.
suck.
I bet it would, but at least it's like not your standard golf game. Like they didn't just like make holes, like bunch of mini golf holes, like with like kind of itchy and scratchy like themes to it. Like this would have been very easy to mail in, like from a developer's point of view, and they didn't. So I'll give them credit on that. Like there's a lot of interesting stuff going on here.
So, okay.
I don't want to play it, but
So you play as Itchy, and you've got a mallet, and you've got to hit the ball to the end somehow?
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then Scratchy is constantly trying to kill you, I guess?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So
What are the mechanics to getting like the ball like up a platform and level?
Hit it really hard.
That's
Make it
got to
bounce
be
up.
completely frustrating.
I'm sure they have something that is like they wouldn't make a
Scrooge
game where you
McDuck or
couldn't
something
do
in
it.
DuckTales?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Well, you look at these power-ups, like you get an eraser, so you can take one stroke off your score. Then there's the baseball bat. Scratchy will be awarded with 6 swings of the baseball bat when he picks up this item. Don't waste them by taking practice swings. The mallet. Remember what happened when Mario grabs a hammer in Donkey Kong? That's exactly what happens here. Copyright infringement. Bombs. A bomb will explode when it hits Itchy, but if it doesn't hit him, it will roll around for several seconds. Watch out.
The whole names are funny, like Grim Furry Tales, Malice in Krusty Land, Pirates of the Scratchabean, and Ice Cream of
Rest
Genie.
in pieces.
Yeah, like I don't know. Like this is a clever, weird little game. I don't know. So
Might be worth that. That's something I could taste test.
You do that.
Taste these nuts. All right.
Moving on to the next game, we have RoboCop versus the Terminator.
Except he doesn't.
Why is
again, we get to see him fighting
That's
the
right.
Terminator.
Has it always been called the
Yeah, we already learned
Terminator?
that.
I thought it was just Terminator.
No, the movie is the Terminator.
They didn't call it the Terminator 2, did they?
No,
So, so why are they reverting into calling it the Terminator?
Well, because
he's not fighting the sequel.
You're not fighting the. It's like, what is it? Alien versus Predator. Like, they want the showdown between like the two titular characters, not the armies of whatever's.
I see. Anyways, it just sounds weird.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, the first one was called The Terminator, I think.
So I talked about this game a little bit in the now playing.
Did
let's see
James
here.
Cameron do all the Terminator movies?
No,
Or who did the Terminator movies?
he just did the second one. I thought.
Oh.
Did he do the first one?
You didn't do the first one?
You can look
Alright.
that up. I'll read about
Yeah.
the game here. Let's see here. It's set in Detroit in the future where the worlds of two superheroes have merged into a single reality. Let's see here. In future Detroit, the electronic defense system known as Skynet decides that man is the enemy. The machine gone mad creates a race of mutant robots to destroy what remains of the fallible human race. Skynet realizes that RoboCop, the only successful hybrid of man and machine, is a threat to its very existence and sends humanoids back in time to destroy him. Meantime, RoboCop plans to regenerate himself in the future with the sole purpose of rescuing mankind by eliminating Skynet. His quest for victory starts on the streets of Detroit.
All right, so James
Imagine
Cameron
if Stallone
did.
played.
Sorry, Evan.
You imagine if Stallone played John Connor.
Stallone playing like a 12-year-old boy. I could see him pulling it off. All right.
All right, you're not here to kill me. I figured it out for myself.
Have you seen this boy? I've seen this boy.
I mean, I think that's pretty much what the plot of the Expendables was, right? So, yeah, Terminator and Terminator 2 are James Cameron. Terminator 3 is a different director, and Salvation and Genesis are all they're all a different director.
So he did the first one?
Yeah, the first two.
Okay. I knew he did the second one. I just didn't know if he did the first one or not.
Danny Elfman did the soundtrack for Salvation, by the way.
It's funny. And like a one-hit wonder guy did the famous theme song for the second one. Like I don't think he's done anything else of note. But I think they use that in like every single movie.
Yeah, it's a pretty distinctive. Well, obviously not the first one, but
yeah. I mean, it's funny that
I don't even know if I've. Sorry,
you wouldn't recognize Danny Elfman being in a lot of movies lately.
Oh, he does a shit ton of movies.
Well, you wouldn't recognize it as being Danny Elfman-esque.
Yeah, well, there's obviously like the Edward Scissorhands and like stuff like that where like it's clearly Elfman, but like.
Well, he's been on like a lot of like interviews where he's kind of complained about, I forget what it's called, but essentially, by the time he's brought onto a project, often the directors already work with the editor to edit a movie together using like fill-in music. So it's like music from like other movies.
Wait, I'm not. He might even not even have done Scissorhands. Oh, he did.
Yeah, he did.
Right. Sweet God. All right.
Yeah, there's like fill-in music from like other movies, and they're like, well, now the pacing's set because we used all this fill-in music to edit the movie together, so make it sound like that. So they have to do like sound-alike music, but not get like caught ripping off someone else's music. So they had to like maintain the same like pace. So like I get like the tune from Inception, the from the trailer. Apparently that's used like in a ton of movies now, so you'll see a ton of like rip-offs.
Jesus.
I mean, ton of movies for like fill-ins when they're doing editing.
Right. No, I follow you.
And you'll hear sound-alikes quite often for it.
I own that movie and I don't even know if I like it. Like,
which one?
It's Inception.
Oh, really? Oh, I love the movie.
Never seen it.
I have a big heart-on for Chris Nolan.
Don't get me wrong. I love Chris, but
I will see any of his movies like sight unseen. Like I will just take my money and I will go in for the experience.
Did that start with like Memento? Where did that start?
For me, I thought Memento was good, but for me, it really started with he hooked me with Dark Knight. I was like, I'm done.
Okay.
Anything after this movie's amazing.
Did you sit through Mystic River?
I haven't seen that one. I haven't seen that one. I haven't seen Insomnia. The only two ones I haven't seen.
That one's tough. That one's real hard to chew on. But it's just the plot of Inception is. I mean, it makes sense. Like, it's not that hard to follow. Like,
right.
Yeah. Like, the further you go into the dream, like, the more like the harder it is or like the more time like exponentially grows or whatever. So you like, but
it's an interesting concept.
Yeah, it's just I don't know, just something about it. This is a great podcast, by the way. Yeah. Anyway.
Great podcasting. What did you think of
the woman with
McConaughey?
Interstellar. I've watched it twice now. I saw it with my mom, and I missed the first 5 minutes. So I was like, "What the hell's going on with this like bookshelf
what were
shit?"
You doing with your mom, Mike?
No, all right. Well, yeah. And then I saw it on a date a couple months back, and I watched the whole way through at my place, like because I have the Blu-ray.
That's a emotionally draining movie to watch. I think
It's the second viewing is pretty rough. Not gonna lie. The cinematography is amazing. Like it's beautifully done. He does.
No doubt.
He shoots everything as conventional as he can.
Right.
So like I have like an immense respect for like how much like he puts into the cinematography.
Mm-hmm.
But like he will drag you through like some pretty rough sledding. Like I'm pretty worried about that Dunkirk movie, to be honest with you. Like that could be real hard to chew on. Like.
Oh yeah.
I mean, people are like, oh yeah, Dark Knight was so great. Like, and he has some great movies, and I love Chris Nolan. Like, I'm with you. I'll give him a lot of leeway, but like, he really drags some stuff out at times. Like,
oh, for sure.
I don't know. So.
All right, back to the podcast at hand. Let's move on to the players poll contest. This is an awesome prize.
That's amazing.
Grand prize winner takes home a arcade game, which is a biking game with 2 bikes on it. Suzuka 8 Hours. It's a win the right on arcade game, take the 8-hour challenge at home. So it's basically like those bikes you sit on. You can lean to the left or right, and you get up.
But they're giving you both, so you and a friend can race against each other.
Race simultaneously, which is awesome.
Can you imagine telling that to your mom? I won the contest.
Yeah,
this is going to be amazing.
I'm putting this in my room.
What was there was one early on where they had like
it's going in the family room, right?
Someone won a cabinet or something early on, and they had to cut a hole in their house to like deliver it. Remember that?
Oh, that was for the
the guy won the Bill and Ted phone booth.
Yeah, that was what it was.
Yeah, that.
They had to cut out the siding in their trailer.
Yeah, some kind of trailer in Alabama won it. And they fucking cut a hole in their wall.
Yeah.
It was like taking a fat person out of someone's house on Maury.
Well, get the crane.
Get the flatbed.
Get the flatbed out.
Time to get old Betsy out of here. All right.
And then,
oh my gosh.
Second prize, it says win 8 hours of arcade action and the game for Super NES. So 8 hours based
like
on 50 cents per minute of play for a total of $48.
Just like Mike's mom, you can pay for 8 hours with a handful of quarters.
You cunt.
Third prize is a Nintendo t-shirt.
Endurance tested, meaning every shirt you get has been worn by at least 3 counselors.
It'd be gross. It's all like sweaty and hairy.
We had Howard wear it for
like
a workout.
wispy mustache, clippings on it. Oh.
You can just smell the weed and the game tips.
It's got Cheeto dust all over it.
Yeah.
All right.
Power Player Challenge. We never go through these. Is there anything of note?
No.
You live it to your death. How many years does it take you to win the Revolutionary War?
Oh, jeez.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow. I like the Ken group. There's a super challenge.
Oh, I have a challenge.
How many home runs can you hit?
Well, there's a challenge I need to beat. Best time on the Rainbow Road for Super Mario Kart. That's my jam. I got to beat Randy Rogers here from Orlando, Florida, with a minute 35.
I bet you there's some guy that figured out like the right way to fall off of it, like that has a way lower than that.
Oh, just to glitch it out or something.
Oh wait, no, I'm thinking about the 64 version.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ben.
Yeah.
Here comes your challenge for Super Black Ass. The biggest fish caught, a 271-pound fish. Can you
Ironically, that's
imagine reeling that
27.
sucker in?
That's
27.
That's an L, not a 1.
27 pounds.
Nice. All right,
Yeah.
let's move on to the top 20. Ivan is our guest. Why don't you go ahead and go first? Super NES.
All right. So the Super NES, we got at number 5, Mortal Kombat. Number 4, Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. Number 3, King Griffey Jr. presents MLB. Number 2, NBA Jam. And number 1, Super Metroid.
Bow, bow, bow.
Next up for the Game Boy,
Yes,
number
sir.
5, we got Metroid 2: Return to Samus. Number 4, we have Super Mario Land 2: 6 Golden Coins. Number 3, we have Kirby's Dream Land. Number 2, Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. And number 1, Wario Land.
Ba, 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 ba.
Mike, finish us off.
For the Nintendo, we got number 5, Tetris 2. Number 4, Metroid. Number 3, Mega Man 6. Number 2, Super Mario Brothers 3, 59 months, son of a bitch. And then Legend of Zelda, 71 months. Legend of Zelda. The players still pick The Legend of Zelda as their favorite game. Wonder why?
Okay, moving on to the Pack Watch. We're finally getting another look at Donkey Kong Country.
What a great game.
So,
I'm still always floored that they got that level of graphics out of a Super Nintendo. Like that.
Yeah.
Like it still baffles me like how much better this game looks than like everything else on the system.
yeah.
I don't know.
It was pretty late in the...
Yeah, I mean it is.
Cycle,
You're right.
isn't it?
You're exactly right. But like,
The behind the scenes, when we look at it, and I'm going to make you guys watch the video and we'll have to do a special on it, is
God.
oh yeah, it's going to be swell. It's not that long. It's like 20 minutes.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
That could be that could be some of our Patreon exclusive.
Dude, 20 minutes is like a high score right now. Anyways, TMI.
I can barely make it
God, I only wish.
through the commercials.
I don't have that much time.
What? 20 minutes isn't that long for recharge time, right?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
Anyways, so they just jam like a whole bunch of chips into the cart. It's ridiculous.
Speaking of jamming a hole, how's your mom, Mike?
Speaking of jamming chips, how's you, John?
He's huge.
Huge. All right.
So we'll talk about that game more later, obviously. Mortal Kombat 2 is coming out from Acclaim. It's more fighters. Same game.
I cannot tell the difference between
Next
that
month,
and
I
the first
believe.
game. Looking at it,
It's just different characters.
Reptiles in there. And we got Melina.
I hate you.
Melania?
I hate you
Shang
so
Tsung.
much. You know what I mean? Like the visuals. It doesn't look like a new game.
Do they have blood this time? Is that what I see at
Yeah.
the bottom there?
Yeah, well, at the bottom, Liu Kang seems to be making like a basketball hoop in front of a rose.
Like a kiss from a rose?
From a grave, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Asian cowboy kung fu.
Baby.
I compare you to a kiss from the rose on the grave.
Ooh.
Are the parts that are missing from his face the extra bits on Morgan Freeman's?
Oh,
Titty sprinkles.
Titty sprinkles.
And then we have Super Punch Out, Sans Mike Tyson. So it's a better, similar game. Good graphics. We'll get into that. Earthworm Jim is finally making its way over. I thought did this first come out on Genesis, or was this?
Yeah, that sounds right. I don't remember.
I think this was originally just on Genesis, and they ported it over.
That game is so offbeat in a good way.
I love it.
They did. It's an interesting game.
It's hard though.
Yeah, it kicks your ass.
Ow. Okay.
Are they bringing back Earthworm Jim?
I don't think so.
Why would we know that? Like,
Because you have access to the internet.
oh, yeah.
I thought it. Yeah, I think,
News, gotta
I
be.
think you're right. I think Dave Perry, the creator, he had some kind of Kickstarter to bring it back or something. I don't remember in what respect. Like it was like a short film or something. I can't remember. Then we have Bubsy 2 because the world needed more of these characters. Attempting to be Mario
Yeah,
and or
badass.
Sonic.
I could take more.
Yeah.
And then the Incredible Hulk is coming in hot.
From US Gold. You know that company that we all know that publishes games.
They've done a bunch. Like I've seen their name probably a half dozen times over the last few episodes. Like nothing of actual
Of note.
like merit, but
Yeah. Then for Game Boy, we've got Mega Man 5 coming out and Mortal Kombat 2. And next up is
Mega Man 5
What's that?
Mega Man 5 bosses come from Mars, Mercury, Venus, and Neptune? The hell is this?
I don't know. Well, I'm sure we'll dig into it in a future issue.
Unanswerable question. Yeah.
All right, next section is a special report about the Consumer Electronics Show. Hey, fun fact, by the way, you know E3 was created because video games were not getting the attention and love they deserved at the CES. So they've tried to create their own party.
You think from Nintendo Power's coverage of CES that they were all about the games.
I had multiple friends at this year's E3, and it seems like opening up to the public was a really bad idea. Like
I
the
went.
lines
Oh,
or
I'm sure.
nuts?
It was nuts when I went 2 years ago. I got in as, industry or whatever.
Right.
They're saying, oh, yeah, we're planning on using Unity to develop our software in-house. And they'll just let you through, basically, is what I was told, as long as you say you're in the industry. But, they have basically every single, station where there's a demo or there's, a video. There's, the plebeian lane, the surf lane, and then they have the fast pass lane for, journalists and bigwigs and people, right?
Right.
So you'd see these people from the general press from, I don't know, some stupid newspaper out at Guatemala or something, looking around, probably don't know anything about video games, moving ahead of you in line, oh, what do I want to see now? Oh, I think I'll go see The Division. And meanwhile, I've been sitting in line for 3 hours to go see a 20-minute video about The Division.
You didn't miss much. That game, ugh.
Well, I got that game.
Yeah, I know. You and I both tried it for a while. But
They got rid of a lot of features that they had in that early demo. They had people playing on iPads and stuff, and interacting with people. Totally killed all of that. Anyways, so it's not a great experience unless you're press. Put it that way. Good to go one time just for the experience to say I did it, but yeah.
Did they edit this on an Apple II? I don't. This...
It's hey, I just found this thing called PowerPoint, and you can do these 3D letters. Woo!
Oh, God.
Yeah, they might have been trying to start with some digital editing. It's not great.
Anyway.
Anyways,
Yeah,
so
so we get to see Log Cabin for Donkey Kong Country.
They're talking about
next
Killer
is
Instinct, Cruising USA. So they were showing those games off for the Nintendo Ultra 64.
As well as Super Punch-Out.
Mm-hmm.
Illusion of Gaia is the best adventure game of the year. It's a good game. I'd have to see what other games came out that year to call it the best, but...
They also mentioned they have Donkey Kong Land for Game Boy coming out, which is the same animation as Country.
For a Game Boy, that's pretty ambitious.
It's yeah, that's a little bit of a stretch, I want to say. They mention they have Spider-Man and Venom in Maximum Carnage coming out for Super NES.
Look at the art on that. We just get to see Carnage shredding apart some guards, just screaming, "I lied! You should never trust a raving lunatic." And it looks fantastic. It looks like a comic. Mm-hmm. This is the pinnacle of good product tie-in.
And they have The Lion King from Disney coming out for Super NES.
Did you ever play that game, the Maximum Carnage Venom?
Yeah, I had it actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty good game.
I enjoyed it.
It is. I couldn't ever beat it though. It's hard. It's one of those things.
Yeah.
It's an arcade game that you obviously had limited lives. So.
Yep. We could try it now with save states. Should be doable.
They do a whole feature on it, so we'll get to it. Then what else do we have here? Mega Man 5 for Game Boy, which we mentioned. Mega Man X2. It's all Capcom stuff, which we've kind of all seen. Did they even mention X-Men by the holidays? They have an X-Men game coming out? I don't remember there being a Capcom X-Men game.
I could see The Lion King, which, of course, Disney Capcom looks fantastic.
The hell was that?
No bad.
What?
My phone just went nuts for a second, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Then I get to see Super X, Mega Super X and Ghouls.
Yeah, that's all Capcom stuff.
And it all looks good because, of course, it does. And we get to see Super Star Wars, things with Super Return of the Jedi, because we get to see Jabba's palace in the background. Looks fantastic. And then Animaniacs, which looks pretty damn good.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
They have Biker Mice from Mars in here. There was that short trend in the early 90s for people to try and rip off Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. What can we create? And then they have Street Sharks was another one of them.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Have you seen that video of Vin Diesel trying to sell Street Sharks toys?
Oh my god.
It's amazing.
Yes, I have.
It's amazing.
Yes.
If If you haven't seen it, stop what you're doing right now and go watch it.
All right.
Well, he made up for it with Groot, so.
All right, and they have a racing game coming out from Ubisoft, which has 4-player mode, which is interesting. And
In
they
Mode
have
7.
Mode 7 graphics. So you can even play car soccer or race a circuit and view performance from varying camera angles. So that actually looks pretty good. And then, let's see here. They have this fighting game. I don't know if this came out. Rise
of the Robots.
It did come out. I think we looked it up.
It looks pretty darn good for Super Nintendo. I mean, it looks way too good for Super Nintendo, actually.
Yeah.
It looks too good for an N64.
They pre-rendered all of the images, I think.
Yeah. And then we get to see the beautiful Mickey Mouse game, Adventures of Mickey Mouse. I remember this game where you get to play through various Mickey Mouse shorts, including Steamboat Willie and Fantasia.
That was gorgeous.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
glorious.
it's pretty good.
And then what else we have here? A couple racing games, sports games. Then we have Final Fantasy 3.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
All right. Well,
And we just lost Mike.
I have a reputation to uphold as the RPG fan.
Very good. And they have...
thank God. I thought your mom had just shown up or something.
Oh, great. Just great. Well, Ivan, you had a good run here on the show.
Mike's mom is a easy target.
The font
She's
of all
easy, all
humor,
right.
apparently.
She's a town bicycle. Everyone gets a ride.
Okay, coming up next issue, we have Illusion of Gaia. And then we talk about, Blackthorn, Vortex, Pocky Rocky 2, Aerobus, Supersonic, and Super Bomberman 2. They continue with the Days of Mana. Final episode for that. They talk about the making of Donkey Kong Country, Killer Instinct, and the all-new video game rating system.
That Pocky and Rocky series is probably the series that I knew the least about, but have enjoyed the most out of.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's a fun little series.
Mhm.
I don't know.
So, I was hoping you guys could send the link over to Ivan. I don't know how to do it properly, but since they mentioned the Super Power Supplies catalog so much at the beginning of the issue, I thought it might be fun just to quickly browse through the Super Power Supplies catalog from summer of 1994. So I sent my co-hosts links to a Google Photo album that I just took.
Where?
My copy.
Where is this?
Where?
To your email. To your email inbox.
Oh, the one thing I wouldn't be looking at right now. Okay.
Yes, that one. It doesn't give me a whole lot of options
Which
on
one?
mobile.
My Gmail inbox.
That's what you use it for.
Mm-hmm.
There's the
with
Gmail
dicks.
and then John's Gmail box.
So
I don't see it in my email.
You don't?
Yep,
No.
me neither. You failed.
Oh, that's odd.
You should have used something we use, like Skype or Messenger.
I can do Messenger, I think. Let's see here.
X.
Okay,
What you really want?
there.
Gonna have to eliminate a long, awkward pause here.
Nah, this is great, bud.
This is good audio. Okay.
Okay, so we get to see the Super Power Supplies catalog of summer of
Well,
1994.
hold on now. Send it to Ivan.
He's
Wait,
in
I have
the
to-
chat with us.
He's not in the Messenger chat.
Fuck.
Send it in the Skype chat.
I
Then.
don't. I'm on my phone with it.
Okay, well, how the hell do I send it? Okay.
Oh, you can forward it.
X. What?
I
What you
tried,
really want?
but I can't seem to share with anyone else in the Messenger chat.
I hit continue for something. I don't know what that means.
I have so much to cut out. I can share it on my Facebook,
Sorry.
but I can't share it in Messenger.
You're like a discount rabbi on Brisk Weekend. Alright. Share.
Yeah, John, you try. I'm bad.
Like I
at
said,
nothing.
What's your email, Ivan? We're not gonna air it. So what's your email?
IKAPROTHFUCKYOURSELF
Are you serious?
No, I'm not.
Alright.
Alright.
I Caproth. I'm gonna have to make an email with that in it now, but alright.
So it's iCaproth, JOSLIN at yahoo.com.
God damn. Alright. It's being shared. Nice.
All right.
That was such a sweet burn.
Well, no, I knew what he was doing. Like, I was like, okay, like he has this in his email. That's bold.
Alright, they got it.
All right. Y'all looking at it now?
Yeah.
Okay. 3,
Yeah.
2, 1. So we're looking at cool Mario wearing his shades in 4 different colors. Kind of like a Andy Warhol, but not.
Yeah, psychedelic.
Yeah, psychedelic. And,
Are we looking at the catalog here, or is it we
yeah.
looking at the magazine still?
Yeah,
There's
the
catalog.
although the top
Cover of the
page,
catalog.
yeah, the top page, the top part looks like Mario, but the bottom part looks like, I don't know, like some guy
Oh,
with a big
sorry.
nose ring. Oh wait, it's Mario upside down. Okay.
You just now got that? Oh my god.
That's not bad. Like, that's like kind of almost like modern art level. Like, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
If I wouldn't want the Super Power Club part of it, but like, just the background, like in a frame picture, it's not bad.
Yeah, it could be cool.
It bothers me that the aspect ratio is off
Yeah, they stretched it weird.
for the
That's true.
format. I can tell from the yeah.
Yeah, you think they just go with like a black border to keep the aspect, but no.
So
They've hooked up.
All right. So what else do we have? We have a baseball jersey for $35. You get a Ken Griffey Jr. presents Major League Baseball game jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of looks like a Mariners jersey a little bit, so they're doing all right with that.
Yeah, close enough.
Got a $16 baseball cap with Griffey. I
have that hat.
Do you really?
I don't know why. I had that hat. I think the deal was like the stamps expire at some point, so you gotta like spend them or lose them.
Yeah.
But for less, you could have had a baseball, which is like a lot better.
I had baseball. I don't know what I was thinking. Like I said,
Anyway,
He,
so
he can use the hat to block out that Arizona sun. That ball would require him to play.
there's a
There's that.
there's a baseball gym bag thing for $20. There's a cardboard cutout for $100. That's kind of crazy. I don't know.
interesting.
You can buy a store display basically. I don't know. That's weird. All right. So then there's they have a Pog page here.
Life-size Griffey, that is fantastic. Like, how many people ordered that? The big stand-in.
I'd be interested to know that. It's like
You get
one
a
guy.
6-foot tall corrugated cardboard stand.
Yeah, come on, baby. Come up to my room. I got something to show you.
It's big and black.
Lovely. So yeah, they have
Where you going? Come on, baby.
they have special pogs for either Mario characters or Super Metroid. Doesn't say how many sheets you get. You just get one sheet, is what I imagine. For $4, you get kind of a cheap sheet.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You can also get a Club Cap Slammer set, which comes with a board, like a 12-inch mat you can use to play Pogs on, and
I
then
like to
like
play
a
on a
metal.
12-inch mat.
Let's see here, Club Cap Slammer. It doesn't say if it's metal or not, but you get it. And then a
Laminated
tube.
plastic and metal Club Cap Slammer is guaranteed to make you an ace.
Oh, okay, got it. It's got a
And
Warland T-shirt.
We get Metroid caps. So we get to see Samus, Kraid, Ridley, and other characters. The Metroid crew is just what you need to slam into all-out cap blasting action. Yeah, because we did that.
And then there's like some Wario T-shirts. There's a Mario cap. That Mario cap's not bad. It's kind of that art from the front cover. That was kind of
Yeah, again with the
ratio.
fucked up aspect ratio. Come on.
And then there's a hologram watch. It's kind of
$35 for a fucking wind-up watch. Oh, that's so much.
Yeah.
It is
And that
pretty
was
expensive.
$35 in mid-90s money.
Yeah.
That would be like $50 for a wind-up watch with a shiny background.
Yeah, it sounds like Nintendo standard.
There's a glow-in-the-dark Super Metroid poster. That's pretty cool. For your certain rooms that you might want with, black light abilities for certain reasons. There's a Zelda adventure shirt. That's not bad. I would probably wear that for the retro kind of look to it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, except it only goes up to XL, so we're all out of luck.
Nope.
I wear XL.
Fuck there.
Bitch.
Hey, good on you, mate. Good on you.
Yeah, there we
Well,
go.
now we know who the skinny one in the podcast is.
Yeah, that's a sad state of affairs if that's the case. All right. Triforce sweatshirt.
Show off.
You can almost see my wiener.
God,
All
eat a
right.
sandwich.
All right. Then there's some Zelda branded stuff, a little bit more generic Zelda logos from Link to the Past, kind of look to them.
That hat is badass. The logo with the Z shield. I like that.
All right. There's some basketball gear. You got a basketball, Nintendo Power, so you think you're hot at NCAA and NBA Jam. Now it's time to take your game to the real hoop. So, the best play here, Nintendo Power Basketball. Oof. Only $18 for basketball. That's not bad though.
No, it's not bad at all.
That design is terrible. Early '90s though.
Oh, it's awful. But
It's, yeah. Neon
Then we get to
puke.
see
that's a fair price for that basketball. Though, is all I'm saying.
Okay.
$18.
There's a summer fun
Take that
pack. You
over
get
the hat.
sunglasses, insulated water bottle, and
A frisbee.
I guess
Was that a hairnet? Does it come with the hairnet?
I don't.
You get a black best play flying disc because I guess frisbee
Yeah,
is
so
patented.
Frisbee.
Oh, patented.
A 16-ounce speckled gray water bottle and a purple foam insulator to keep everything teeth rattling cold. Beat the heat with the coolest shades around. Everything comes in blazing with the best play here for $12.
That's $12. That's not. I mean,
That's good.
yeah.
Not bad.
I don't know. Those are all dollar store equivalents. That's a rip off.
Yeah, I guess. So
Yeah.
there's
Rip off.
there's
And
a
then-
Leatherman jacket,
So fucking bad. You get
yeah.
a jacket that's like $75.
There's a battle ball set, kind of
It's
like
basically-
table tennis.
It's basically like those same ping pong paddles that have like the ball that's stapled to the racket.
Yeah.
Except they took off the string and charged you $20 for it.
Yeah. When I'm using a paddle, it's usually for sexual gratification, though. So it's always good.
You got to make sure there's holes in them, though. So they go faster. Less air resistance.
Another wind resistance.
Damn it, it hurts too much. What am I doing wrong?
Yeah.
All right, then they have.
If you don't have
the
that
li-
in stock, just use a cheese grater. Works just as well.
Christ. All right, then they have the gamut of players guides. There's there. There's they make magazine holders that are, basically just sort of, what is it? Are they
Cardboard.
cardboard? What are they? They're a way to store your
No,
magazines.
these are like plastic, I think. They're plastic. They
there's
hold
the-
about like 12 issues. So
There's the action stand that was mentioned. It's like a little thing that holds the pages open while you read them. Ugh.
aren't they called lecterns or something? For
It's a kickstand.
Magazine condoms. There's a trading card holder. There's also the Super NES game pack
the pack rack.
Pack rack.
pack rack. So it's a cardboard box to keep your game packs in. Oh, all right. There's
also
also
holds
decals
NES
for
games.
your NES. Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. They have a little Mario decal that sticks on your Super Nintendo.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
The
not
decals
bad.
for $4 seems fair.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's only like
Um,
75 cents in stickers, but it's like it's an affordable fucking.
Yeah, and then they. So speaking of that, how's your mom? Anyway, and then they have instructions like how to send in to get. Yeah,
Get the goods.
which is I'm sure this is great podcast for everyone that can't see. So maybe Ben will post it
Hey,
to the Facebook
it's got
group.
a fucking Mike's
Yeah.
mom joke in it. It's good.
Hell no. That to live with this knowledge that we're looking at this and they don't have a scan available on the internet. It's hot.
All right. Where are we at?
We're at the conclusion.
Yeah. All
the
right.
conclusion of the show. Thanks everybody for listening. If you'd like to hear more from us, please find us on facebook.com/playingwithpowerpodcast. You can also find old episodes and other stuff on our website, playingwithpowerpodcast.com. If you'd like to support and give us tribute, you may donate to us at patreon.com/playingwithpower. If you'd also like to give us a review, that'll help us get the word out about the show. If you go onto iTunes, search for Playing with Power Podcast, and we will come up, and you can give us a review. That would be wonderful. You can also find Mike on Twitter at GetThePower88. And Mike, did you have anything else to plug?
Yes, we got the horror podcast, The Graveyard Shift, with me and Sheldon. We watch horror movies, then we talk about them, and we do a little comedy skit and other stuff. So, if you like me, and you think I'm funny, but you just think, I wonder what he's like without Ben and John propping him up. Well, now you can watch now you can listen to The Graveyard Shift and find out.
And that's
Watch
on
him flap in the wind.
Yeah, if you want to see
and for those
propped up by somebody else, listen to Graveyard Shift.
So that's on a totally separate feed. So you gotta find that independently. You can find a link to it from our Facebook page, or if you just search for it on on iTunes, where you have it available.
Yep, we're on iTunes.
Yeah, it's a good listen.
All right,
everyone should check it out.
Hear it from a listener here.
We have proof. We have proof. It's good.
At least one person's listened to it.
That's right. I say so.
That's what I said earlier when you weren't here. Oh my god.
Great minds. All right, thanks everybody for listening. Thanks Ivan for coming on and bearing with us through this tumultuous recording.
It's a blast.
Enjoy your sleep in tomorrow.
Yes, indeed. I'm Ben.
You bet.
I'm Mike.
And I'm John.
And now you're playing with Power.
Entertainment system. Now you're playing with